What's up everyone, Vu of Envu Films, and I'm back with another idiotic video for you to watch. Today I'm wearing a sweater because it's a little bit cold here in my tube douche studio and I don't want my hard nipples to show through and get demonetized. Anyway, so you all may have heard that Canon announced their new 1DX Mark III. No, they did not announce it that it was going to be released or available for pre-order. They announced that it is in development. Fanboys all over the country were talking about how amazing this camera is going to be, and all the Sony fanboys on Facebook groups, the wedding film group, all these groups talking about how Sony sucks, Sony needs to pick up their game, they need to speed up the process, yada yada yada. And understandably so, considering Sony has not done anything in terms of video with the A7S III for ever now. So I get it. So what makes the Canon 1DX Mark III such a hot topic? Well, I've had complaints that I am not detailed enough, I don't have any information, I don't have any specs. So I went ahead and hired an artificial intelligence assistant. It's a very popular thing I've seen these days on YouTube. I looked into it and it's way too expensive for my trash channel. But I found a cheaper alternative in a Vietnamese AI. It's newly developed, custom made just for me. Yes, it's third world. Yes, it's not as robust as those British speaking ones, but I think it'll do. My bit. Can you read me the specs for the 1DX Mark III?
Hello, Mr. Vu. The Canon 1DX Mark III have 4K 60p with a new AF sensor, 28 times resolution of its predecessor. It will have a new era of AF accuracy. It have autofocus system nobody see before, and the 4K 60p do the 10-bit Canon log and internal raw recording at the 10-bit HEIF image file it produced. Yet Canon abandoned JPG. It will have a better DPAF, which is called dual penetration
pixel
AF.
It's dual pixel.
New CMOS sensor, one new digit processor, new AF sensor. It's much better than Sony. It's a lot better than your Sony track. It's a lot better than your Sony track.
All right, that's enough. All right, you can shut up now.
You have a trash channel. No one subscribe you. No one should subscribe you. You have trash channel. Your channel it's no good. It's no good. It's trash channel.
All right, off. All right, off. That's enough. Turn off. Shut up. Let me know what you think about my new AI and if I should return it. It seems defective. I'm thinking that I should just return it and get my $3 United States back. Moving on to the subject at hand here. Why are people so high on the 1DX Mark III? Canon literally came out and announced that this 1DX Mark III was in development. That is a lot different than how Sony announces cameras, where they would announce like the Sony A9 and then it's ready to pre-order the next day. Canon literally just said, oh, we're developing the 1DX Mark III. These are some of the specs, not sharing all the details. And Panasonic does the same thing. They'll announce S1, S1H, but at least they actually have the camera body. But then like you're not able to buy it or pre-order it until like 6 months later. And even after you pre-order it, you don't get it until like another 3 months later. So what does this mean? This means that Canon is making a new camera. Shocker of the century. Of course they're going to make a 1DX Mark III. Okay, 4K 60, it already had that. I mean, it's nothing special. I mean, Sony could easily come out and say, hey, we're developing the Sony a7S III, and this is the official announcement. You know, they can have a conference call with Jason Vong telling them all the new specs that are coming for the a7S III, but they don't do that. They literally just keep everything under wraps, and when they're ready to announce a camera, they just have a date, they announce it, and it's ready to pre-order the next day, and it should be delivered to your door in a month or two. So what does this mean? What Canon did was they basically set up a conference call with Jared Polin, FroKnowsPhoto.com, and told him a bunch of the supposed specs, not all of it, just basic buzzword specs like 4K 60, 422, internal RAW, all these things to get people really excited to, you know, Canon shooters are thinking about switching to stay on board for another little while. But I mean, say the 1DX Mark II is officially announced to the public in March, maybe. People need to pre-order it. I mean, that's plenty of time for Sony to work on their Sony a7S III. So, spoiler alert, I am not throwing away my Sony gear. I'm not selling it. I'm sticking with Sony. And yeah, that shouldn't be a shock to anybody. So, is 4K 60, 422 raw internal great stuff? Yeah, of course. For video shooters, of course that's great, but it's also going to be $7,000. S1H is like, what is it, $5,000 or $4,500? Yeah, it doesn't come with dual pixel autofocus, but apparently I heard most pros rack focus, so they don't really need the autofocus anyway. 4K 60 exists, people. You get 422 external, internal, everywhere else. Even if you do external with the other camera, that camera is still smaller than a bigger 1DX body. I mean, pretty much it's cool what they're doing, but they're not doing enough to sway me from Sony. Panasonic S1H, it's a great camera, but I don't think that is even enough to sway people away from Canon, Sony, even their own GH5, what have you, because there's no lenses. It has 2 lenses, and great, you know. There's just all these random compromises. So, all this is yet to be seen, you know. I don't think everyone should act like Sony is dropping the huge ball here. They are developing the Sony a7S III right now. They're just not openly announcing it officially, talking about it. But I do know, behind the scenes, there's discussions about it. They've been asking consumers about it, or aka YouTubers about it at these camera camps and stuff like that. So it's in the works. They're just not making an official announcement. I mean, announcing that you are in development of a camera is like making a YouTube video about a camera that you don't even have in your hand. Anyways, until next time, lighten up.